Hey guys, I'm excited to be here today. I get to bring on a couple of my lovely speakers for the Boise Energy Healing Conference. This is happening in Boise, Idaho at the Riverside Hotel that is in the Eagle area there in Boise. And today I'm going to go ahead and bring on the amazing Danicia Christensen. Danicia came to our St. George Energy Healing Conference, and I got to hear from some of my friends that are from out of state who've been to literally so many conferences, how much they got to enjoy her class. Lots and lots of modalities put into one beautiful thing that she calls DANSA. I'll let her talk about it a little bit more, but I want to go ahead and read her bio for you. And please comment below if you know her, if you've been to her classes or her conferences, if you've ever interacted with her. We'd love to have you give her a shout out. So Danicia is a multifaceted creative force as an intuitive musician, dancer, healer, speaker, astrologer, and mentor. She uses the power of music and movement to facilitate healing mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. As the visionary behind DANSA, a groundbreaking healing modality, Danicia seamlessly integrates elements from various holistic practices into a singular transformative experience. Her innovative method utilizes original music and inspired movements derived from belly dance and yoga, offering a revolutionary approach to personal growth, wellness, and transformation. Danicia loves Latin music, being outdoors with her 5 sons, watching movies with her husband, and reading historical fiction while eating chocolate in her bathtub. I love that. That is so much fun. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on the amazing Danicia Christensen. How are
Hey,
you?
yay! Hi!
I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you. I love being here. It's my favorite.
That's awesome. Well, and I know you're actually like from the Boise area, right? How long?
I'm not from there, but we lived there for 7 years. We lived there from 08 to 14, so 6 or 7 years. But yeah, so my husband's from there, from the Caldwell area, and we have lots of family and friends I'm so excited to go back and connect with and everything. So we're super excited for this. When you said that you're going to Boise, I was like, woo!
Yeah, that's an easy yes, huh?
Yeah,
to go
for sure.
That is awesome. Well, I know you have some really fun offerings for people who maybe can't even be there. So I'm going to let you kind of just dive in here, tell us a little bit more about what you do. And I'd really love to hear also, because there's people who are going to be watching this either live or on the replay who maybe aren't going to be able to go to the Boise conference. So let's serve both of them and let them know how to interact and how to.
Perfect. I love it. Do you have those slides ready for me?
I will in just 1 second.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you today on a beautiful Tuesday. We're finally getting some sunshine, and that feels so, so good. Like Tammy said, my modality is music and movement. I teach people how to awaken their intuition using music and movement. And the reason that I feel so strongly about the music and the movement piece is because music, like think of your favorite song, whether it's a love song or a religious song or a classical song or a rock and roll song, like whatever it is, what does it do for you? What does it do in your body, in your spirit? It awakens emotions and brings emotions to the surface. And generally they're emotions that you want to feel. That's why that is our favorite song, right? Because it makes you feel excited or happy or joyful or grateful or peaceful, whatever it is. And that's what music does for us, is it brings us into alignment with the emotions that we desire to feel. I tell people it goes through, oh, what's the word I'm looking for now? I can't think. It is able to get through the walls and the boundaries that you have, whether subconsciously or consciously set up for yourself. And it's able to get into your spirit, into your vibration, into your frequency. So music, like we all know that, we all know how powerful and important it is. I teach you how to use it in even more impactful ways with awakening your intuition and helping you to connect with your highest self, with the truest version of you. There are, especially if you're in the personal development world, there are so many things that we want out of life. We want relationships. We want prosperity. We want wealth. We want a job that we enjoy doing. We want alignment, right? But what I have found as I have worked with so many women over the last several years, is that really what most of us are looking for, and men as well, but women are, I cater to women. We're looking for a connection and we're looking for clarity. We want to know that we're on the right track. We want to know that we're doing it right, quote unquote, right? We want that connection with God, and we're looking for validation and confidence in all these other areas. Like, oh, if I have so many clients, or if I have this amount of money coming in, or if I can go on these vacations, or if I have this kind of relationship, then that will mean that I'm doing it right. But what most people don't realize is that those things come as a result of you being in highest alignment and you having the confidence and clarity that you know you're doing it right. And then those things come as a result of that. And so one of the sayings that I have is that I teach women to unapologetically get what they want. And women see that and they think like, oh yeah, it's money or relationship or right? Like, no, I teach you how to get that relationship with heaven, that clarity, that in your intuition, that confidence in you, in your body. That is what you really want. That is what you're looking for. And the way that I help to do that is through music and movement. So we talked about the music part. We know how important that is. But the piece that not everybody realizes is as important is the somatics. It's the movement within your body. So, and again, we know that the movement is important. You hear ad nauseum about needing to exercise and move your body. And I agree 100%. But there's a difference between walking or weightlifting or swimming or stretching or doing yoga and movement that is in alignment with your body as a woman. Tammy, can you pull up my slides with the DANSA one? Oh, there, that one's actually perfect. So I learned how to belly dance just a few years ago. And like probably a lot of you listening, I was raised in a very conservative culture, and belly dancing was not on the list of approved activities. It was the complete opposite of the approved activities. I was sure that I was about to get very hot. My next stop was going to be hell. I was sure, but I knew that that is what I needed to do. And my reason for that was because I was experiencing a lot of lower back pain. And I had the insight that I needed to work with someone to see what was going on energetically with that. And this mentor helped me to realize that this lower back pain, my lower back, is the backside of all of my feminine parts and pieces. It's a part of my sacral chakra, which is about from your pelvis up to your belly button, all the way around your body. And it's where we as women, when we are not confident in who we are as a woman, we're not confident in our feminine energy, then we have problems in this area of our bodies. So it manifests as, menstrual problems and cramps. It manifests as fertility issues. It manifests as pregnancy problems with either the actual pregnancy or getting pregnant or the labor and delivery. It manifests as incontinence. It manifests as digestive issues, and it manifests as lower back problems. And for me, it was the lower back. So I knew, I had realized that I needed to move this part of my body so that I could release the energy that was stuck there and develop this relationship with my feminine energy. And so I was drawn to belly dancing, and I was terrified. And long story short, I went from doing an online class by myself in my basement to performing in public. And sharing it online and on social media, and now creating a whole course and a whole modality around belly dancing and specific music that I've created to support this movement of belly dancing. Because if you are a woman, if you have hips and if you have a belly, you were made to belly dance. Belly dancing was created by women for women to celebrate women. And I have not found anything that is as effective as it has been for me and my clients than learning these belly dance movements to create healing and alignment in your body. Tammy, will you go to the next slide, please? So in my class, I teach you about vibration and frequency and why this works, why the music and the movement works. And one of my favorite quotes is this one by Albert Einstein: everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want to create, and you cannot help but get that reality. This is not philosophy. This is physics. We know that, like, in a scientific way, everything goes back to vibration and frequency. And then the next slide, please, Tammy. And what I teach you is how music and movement is actually the easiest and the fastest way to become attuned to the frequency that you want to be at. And let me tell you, everything that you are wanting out of life is in a high frequency. Peace, joy, love, wealth, prosperity, alignment, connection, creation, laughter, pleasure. Those are all very high vibration frequencies. So what you are wanting is to be in a high vibration. And this is how you work in feminine energy. You match the vibration of what you desire, and then those things come to you like a magnet. Your feminine energy is a magnet that pulls the people, the opportunities, the resources, the experiences, everything that is a vibrational match. It pulls it to you. And I have seen it over and over and over in my life and in the lives of the women that I work with and in their families. Because when you teach a woman, you teach the world, because she holds space and goes out and shares it with people that she loves. And she holds space for people that she loves, whether that's her spouse or her children or her coworkers or her extended family or her community. And then one by one, those same women go out and do the same for the people in their circles. And little by little, we heal the world and we align the world with this high vibration, this high frequency. Everything you want is in a high frequency. And music and movement are the easiest and fastest ways to become attuned to that. Let's see what the next slide is. I don't even remember. Okay, so what I do is I've developed a program called DANSA. It's brand new. We just launched it in January of this year. So it's brand baby spanking new out there. And it teaches you, it's a 10-week class where we go through and I teach you how to do this. I teach you the movement. I teach you the music. I lead you through a progressive exercise that starts with your root chakra and moves all the way up the energy centers up through the crown chakra, leading you through very intentional belly dance based movement and music that I have created to intentionally create the healing and allow the healing and the alignment that you're looking for in your life. So you're receiving an increased ability to feel the peace and the joy and satisfaction and the light and the love in all aspects of your body, because you're feeling it and receiving it into your body. Remember, it has to start with you. I teach you how to heal your relationship with your body and love yourself on a deeper level than you've ever experienced before. Because if you are like me and 90% of the women here on the planet, you were not taught to love your body. You were not taught to hold your body as this beautiful gift of intuition and connection. And it's the way that we connect to heaven, is through our bodies, through our senses. But if we've shut those senses down because we don't want to be sensual, we don't want to be sexy, we don't want to be too overbearing or too confident, or our bodies are weird. They do weird things. They make weird smells. They leak fluids. They're flabby and they're too big or they're too small. Like, we're never satisfied with our body. We don't have a relationship of love and trust with our body. But this is what I teach you to do, is how to create that relationship and have that connection. Because when you do, then it leads you to point number 3. You'll have your intuitive gifts revealed to you in clearer, more profound ways, because your senses are awakening. This is how God speaks to you, is through your body. Think of almost anyone that you talk to when they're describing how they feel God's spirit or the Holy Ghost or that connection to heaven in their lives. They're going to give you a physical sensation. They're going to say, there was tears. I was crying. They're going to talk about having goosebumps. They're going to talk about a fire burning in their chest or this gut feeling in their belly. It's a physical sensation that happens in our body. But if you shut down your connection with your body, and most of us have, then you're not able to have that clarity and feel the spirit as much as you are meant to. And then all of this together, when you have the increased ability to feel, and you heal, and you have your spiritual gifts revealed to you and have that greater connection to heaven, then you get to step more fully into the life that you were meant to have, which is a life filled with magic and miracles. So as you can tell, this is something that I feel so passionately about, and I'm so excited to teach you even more about this at the Boise Energy Healing Conference. And Tammy will teach or show you. Let's see what the next slide is, Tam. Okay, so this is just a fun slide of some pictures of the class and different things. But Tammy, if you can go ahead and put my Instagram handle when we're ready for that. I'll have Tammy share my Instagram handle, as well as, thank you, perfect, as well as the link to my DANSA class. You don't have to wait until you come to Boise, or maybe if you're not coming to Boise and you're like, I would love to know more about this, how does this work? Then we can send you the link to the class and you can get more information about that. But super excited to connect with you, super excited to share this with the world. This is something that is completely new. I don't know anyone who is teaching this in this way, who is teaching feminine energy and alignment and intuition awakening through music and movement in the way that I am doing it. And it's powerful. It's changing the lives of women all across the country. So I'm so excited to share more with you and to get to know you, hopefully at the Boise conference.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I have a couple of questions.
Awesome.
If you don't mind, I'd love to go ahead and just kind of pick your brain for just a second.
Love to.
So I know that I have this connection with I definitely am very empathic, and I feel the emotions in my body, and sometimes it can become kind of overwhelming. And honestly, I feel like that's probably one of the main reasons why I started doing energy healing conferences, because I know that I'm not the only one. And I started finding people who could help resolve some of those issues, but also support people on, more of that. When I go to a gym, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm just going to tell you.
We want to hear it. We want to hear it. Go.
I'll go to the treadmill and I'll get on. I really like the treadmill. It's one of my favorite things at the gym. And I get on and I will start having an overabundance of emotions. Like I have this emotional response to the point that, out of kindness and regard for the others around me, as people are kind of coming on, they're going to get on a treadmill next to me or something, I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know I get emotional, and people are like, and then they go to another treadmill.
On a treadmill. Why are you getting emotional, right?
And it's like this and it's not because it hurts. It's not because I can't do it. It's not anything to do with that. It's just they come up for me. So I'm wondering how many people are like that you've talked to, and also like just as a result of that, knowing that about me, I did just purchase my own treadmill, so now I can cry in the privacy of my own home. But tell me a bit more about like how that kind of thing might come into play with what you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on.
So a clarification question: the emotions that are coming. Wait, come back. Where'd you go?
I was
stay here. Stay here. I'm like, you can't ask a question and just disappear. So my question that I would ask first is, what kind of emotions come up?
Just like crying emotions.
So do you feel like it's beautiful, like gratitude and love and connection, or is it like fear and anxiety and overwhelm?
Just
what would you?
I guess probably more of the first one, because it's not like I'm like sad or anything. I just start crying.
So more of like gratitude and connection and love?
I don't know if I'd say connection and love, but I would definitely say like they're not negative.
Okay.
But I'm on the treadmill and they just come up like every time.
Come up. So yeah. I think that this goes back to like the and you're not listening to any music. You're just getting on the treadmill.
It doesn't matter what kind of music is on, honestly.
It's just still emotional. Yeah. So this is funny that you bring this up, because for me, that happens when I go to my dance fitness class. I actually just got back at the class that I go to is Tuesday mornings. I get my best ideas. I get some of my biggest like intuitive hits when I'm in that class. Number one, because I'm not teaching it. So usually I'm the one teaching like the movement classes, right? And so I'm focused on what I'm teaching and the women and stuff, but I'm not teaching it. And I'm just there and I'm just moving and grooving and shaking my hips and doing all the fun things, right? And I'm completely open I'm not like trying to problem solve or figure something out or accomplish something. I'm just an open conduit, and because it usually happens like, maybe about halfway through, and I've done enough movement that I've cleared out stuck energy. And then I'm like this open conduit to receive additional light and knowledge.
Cool.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's something similar going on there, that when you're do you feel like you're fairly sedentary other than like being on the treadmill, or are you pretty like moving and active throughout the day with your work and stuff? Or are you mostly like this at a computer?
I'm sitting at a desk.
Yeah. And so what I'm feeling is your body being like, oh, like finally we're moving. Thank you so much. I love you. I love this so much. We love to move. And we love, like, for you, it's a treadmill, right? For me, I love walking and being outside. And to me, that is more of like, oh, nature. Like, I love this. It's not so much like the actual movement. It's the connection with nature. So for your body, it might be like, oh, thank you for moving. We're so grateful. We love you so much. This feels
I actually
so
haven't had that download. So yeah, I could see that. Yesterday I went and helped my adult daughter who's married, and she's got a duplex. And I went and helped her. We cut down a few of the trees that were in front of her house that were ready to go. Right. So I didn't use the chainsaw myself, but I mean, like, I bent over and picked up 1,000 branches, I swear. And when I got home, my body was like, okay, too much. We didn't
so
like
tired.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
FYI, it was fun for about 20 minutes. After that, it was too much.
Yeah, I found I have muscles and parts of my body that I forgot about. Yeah. It's like spring cleanup.
So you might already do this, but for those listening, like something that a practice that I've started is having conversations with my body. So like when I'm in that place where I know, like, okay, I know this is going to feel good for about 30, 40 minutes, but like we really have a couple hours of work that I've committed to or that I want to do, like having a conversation with my body and being like, hey, I know this is more than what we normally do. And so I want you to know that, like, when we're done, like, we're going to go take a hot bath, or we're going to go get a massage, or we're going to like rest and like watch a movie or read a book. And I'm listening to you, and I love you and I acknowledge you. And I would love your support reciprocated of helping me to have the energy and helping my muscles to work like they need to. And I'm going to listen, and I'm going to drink water, and I'm going to eat food that's supportive. But really having a conversation, and this is what I talk about like creating that relationship of trust. Like, we work so hard to create relationships with other people in our life that are important to us. But what about your body?
Yeah.
How often do you actually treat your body with the respect and the love and compassion that you would anybody else that you loved so, so much?
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. Well, awesome. Well, how did you get into doing this line of work anyway? Like, I'm super curious. Like, you said you come from a conservative family. I know you have like a crap ton of kids like me, right? And like, what got you into doing belly dancing? Like, how did you actually start doing this? I want to hear more about that.
It's so funny. I was just talking with someone this morning about that. And the first thing that got me, because mindset was the first thing. Like, I've always been like, I'm Capricorn. Like, I want like the progression, and I'm Sagittarius. I'm Cap and Sag. And so I'm like, I want to climb the mountain, and I will have all the things waiting for me on the top along the way. Right. And so I've always, like, ever since I was a kid, I've loved progression, and I've loved learning about new things and stuff. And so actually my first like awareness was a podcast, a mindset podcast back in, like, I think it was in 2018, that kind of opened me up to the idea that the way I think about things might not actually be like the way that things are. And I was like, what is this crazy talk? This is nuts, but I was so drawn to it. And my first big investment was investing in this woman's group coaching program. It was $50 a month. And I was like, oh crap, what is my husband gonna say? Yeah. $50 a month. That's where I was at the time. But the first topic of conversation was going to be on improving your sex life. And I was like, I think I can get him on board. I think I can get him on board if it'll improve our sex life. And it did, and he was. But that just opened up like the whole realm of possibilities of mindset and the growth that brings. And so I was into mindset, and then I partnered with a woman who did mindset, but had more of like an intuition awareness. And anyway, and that led into like feminine energy, and just kind of one thing led to another. And here I am. But really the whole belly dancing part was my lower back. I'd been experiencing lower back pain for a good 20 years, where it would knock me flat in bed for a good week, 2 or 3 times a year. And then I would have a good month or so where I would build up my energy back and then start right back where I was. And I was so tired of that happening and not being able to do the things that I love to do. And yeah, just like I had enough experience following my intuition and doing things that seemed ridiculous and dumb, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But when it was like, I feel like I need to belly dance, I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. So like I said, I found an online class that I could do by myself in my basement while my husband was at work and the kids were at school and nobody had to know. And that literally was the catalyst for me really truly stepping into my feminine energy. Because think of where you move your body in belly dancing. It's your hips, it's your belly, it's your boobs, it's your shoulders. Like, it's all the parts of our body that make us a woman. And so moving all of that and like letting that stuck energy, like we were talking about, letting that stuck energy come up and out. It just led like into magic, just absolute magic. And it changed every aspect of my life.
So I'm super curious, do you do some of that kind of stuff like actually in your class at the conference?
The belly dance. Yeah, I have everybody stand up and they belly dance.
What do you do, really?
They all become belly dancers at my class. We even had some men at the last one, and I was like, guess what? There are men belly dancers, so up you go.
Up you go. That's awesome. So what if somebody's like a little intimidated or nervous about doing that? Like, can they just come observe or?
Oh, for sure. Like, I'm not going to go out and like force you up there, but and after we do it, we have a conversation. I'm like, hey, what do you notice? What did you feel? And some of them, like, I love to point out, like, every single person in that room is laughing and they're in so much joy because it feels so ridiculous and so foreign and it's at that uncomfortable. And so what do? We laugh, right? Yeah. So I'm like, see how you're laughing and you're smiling and your vibration just rose. You're welcome. You're attracting all the things that you want, right? You're welcome. And so for some people, it's like, oh my gosh, that felt so good. Like, I was so stiff and now I can tell that I'm more loose. And for some people, it was like, that was the scariest thing I've ever done. Yeah. I don't ever want to move my body like that again. I don't know. And I'm like, you're welcome as well, because everything that you want is on the other side of what you don't want to do. Yeah. So if you are like having a visceral reaction of like, I do not want to do this, you may want to consider signing up for the class, because that is a high indication that this is something that's super important, because your body, we have so many walls put up of subconscious walls of like trying to protect us from anything that might move us into something that our mind doesn't know how to handle. And that's like, I'm very God-centered, light-centered. And that's the whole purpose of being here on the earth, is progressing past what we think we don't want and don't need, and learning to work through that and see the blessings and the growth in that. That's been my entire life.
Well, it's so funny that you're talking about like the belly dancing component of it, because I've been creating these like local women's wellness nights in my area. Mm-hmm. And one of the gals said, hey, I was a belly dancer and I would like to teach belly dancing. And I was like, what? Belly dancing? And she was like, yeah, this was a few months ago before I met you, by the way. Uh-huh. And so we set up the night. It was, my daughter came and did a yoga class. And then we were going to do a belly dancing class. And then tacos was right after, because that's my love language, right? Nice. And right after that, we did a sound bath. And so at the time when everybody was doing the belly dancing, I opted to go and grab tacos so that I didn't get the belly dancing, because I was like, that is like scary, you know? So I was just wondering, like, if you do have people that come into the class, if they also are having, you said a visceral response or just like uncomfortableness. Yep. I don't know how else to say that, you know? Yep. Anyway, so that's good. So I'm not the only one, but you guys, if I can go in there and attempt, then come and try it with me. You will get laughter on probably so hardcore.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's so fun. Well, and they can also go follow you on Instagram. Here's your Instagram handle right here.
Yep. And that one has 2 S's in it. It's just 1 S in the Christensen. But yeah, you'll find me if you start typing I am. You're good.
That's good to know. I had that on the banner from last time. So that means I'm sure that I'm
Yeah.
sure most people.
I'll come up. It's a lady going like this and belly dancing. So you're good. You'll find me.
Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Danicia, for being here. And for those of you who maybe didn't see the ticker down at the bottom, it does say that we do still have some free tickets that are available right now. We have 350 people that are pre-registered. So we still do have a few tickets. So if you'd like one, go ahead and send me an email and I'd be happy to send you a ticket.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being on with us today. And
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you Saturday. Okay. Sounds good.
See you later. Bye, everyone.
Oh, that's awesome. So I think I might try it. We'll have to go check it out. That sounds like, if she's super brave and doing this in front of people, like, and teaching them, not just like talking about it, then maybe I'll have to be brave too and go check it out. All right. Our next guest speaker that we're going to have on as a spotlight today is Amy Winsett. She's been packing these rooms at our conferences for years, you guys. At the particular one that's coming up this Saturday in Boise, she's going to be speaking at 4 p.m. I would recommend that you get into her room a little bit early to make sure you get a seat. Amy is a highly respected spiritual medium, author, and teacher. She's assisted countless individuals in connecting with their departed loved ones, angels, and spirit guides. Her best-selling book, Awakening the Healing of Your Soul, serves as a guide to unlocking the transformative power within oneself. As a passionate teacher, Amy imparts her wisdom through workshops and classes and guiding students to discover their own intuitive abilities and embark on a path of healing and spiritual growth. With her innate ability to channel divine messages, Amy inspires others to awaken their own spiritual potential and find profound healing and divine purpose in their lives. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the amazing Amy Winsett.
Hey.
How are you, my friend?
Good. That was an awesome intro. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you with us today. And I want to just go ahead and just jump right into tell us a little bit about how you got into this. And also I'd love to hear more about what's going to be happening at the Boise conference.
Okay, awesome. Well, my story kind of goes like this. I grew up in a family that was spiritual and connected to a higher power that is unseen. So getting messages from a source that is unseen was just part of the culture. It's not something that I thought about much later in life. It was just kind of like, if you don't know, ask this unseen source, who we refer to as God, what those answers might be. So that was a culture that I grew up with for sure, and largely based religiously. But when I was 8 years old, I started having dreams of different places and would later, like a week later, maybe be across the country or something with my family. We were military. We traveled a lot. We moved a lot. And I remember the first time this really happening where I was aware of it. It was 8 years old. And we were, I don't know if we were like in the middle of Mississippi. It was somewhere from the West Coast to the East Coast is where we're headed. And somewhere in the middle, we had stopped by a place and I saw this large building. And I was like, oh, I just dreamt that last week. And I just remember this just kind of going, what's happening? What is going on with that? And to this day, that's something that still happens to me a lot is I'll dream of a place and then I'll see that place. And then when I was 12 years old, I started predicting death, which is a strange one to kind of focus on or to notice on. But I would just get this feeling or an impression that someone was going to pass, and I would internalize it quite a bit. So sometimes I thought it was going to be me or it was going to be one of my loved ones. But I would feel like the relationship of like, if it felt like a grandma and young, I would go, oh my gosh, it's my grandma. And then the next day I'd go to school and one of my close friends says, hey, my grandmother just passed. And it would just felt like that resonated so quickly with me that I was somehow preparing, my energy was preparing for holding a space for somebody's grandmother who may have passed. And anyway, so I was going, gosh, there's a lot of synchronicities going on here. I would have other dreams or even just daydreams of things that might potentially happen, like on the playground. I remember one time in the 6th grade, I knew my outfit for the next day. I had this really cute outfit planned out for the next day. And I was even going to wear like a special ring or something. And I imagined at recess that I would be playing Foursquare with my friends in this cute outfit. I'm imagining this the day before. And we're playing and we're doing the ball thing. And no intention, of course, to do this on purpose. But I had seen the night before that the ring falls off and spins all the way across the foursquare. And so I'm just playing. I'm not trying to go for that. I'm thinking that's nothing that's really going to happen. And lo and behold, while I'm doing this and playing foursquare with them, that gold ring did fall off, and it rolled in the exact pattern that I had seen in like a daydream the night before. And more recently, here's a funny one. I remember this just at this last conference in St. George that we just did 2 weeks ago. I had been putting in an earring into this ear, and I noticed it didn't have the back to it, but the other one did have the back to it. And I spoke to this earring as I put it in, and I said, hey, don't be falling out when it's time for me to teach my class. And of course, the universe doesn't understand the opposite of anything. It only hears fall out, right? Not don't fall out. Anyway, so I put this earring in, and what did you know? Like right as we're preparing for the class and Kathy's getting me all set up with everything, one of the attendees in the front row goes, hey, you lost your earring. And I was like, no. And I turn around and I'm like, I'm not, I kind of make a joke out of it with him, but I go, I told this earring to stay in and to not fall out while I was teaching my class. And so I kind of just have noticed things like that, those synchronicities, have happened for me quite a bit. Well, when I started massage school in 2014, I now had the opportunity, because I'm a massage therapist and a spiritual medium, I now had the opportunity to have my hands, which I'm very intuitive through my hands, in the space of other people for an hour or more at a time. And so now their vibration coming so closely into my vibration, I had felt this before in conversation with others, but really so intensely during a massage session. And information about them would just come in and come through, and we would start talking and processing and releasing what did not serve them through those validations and things like that. So fast forward to 2024, because I started massage school in 2014, I've been able to just help hundreds of people and readings and being able to feel their past loved ones come through, which is also just a vibration. Everything's just a vibration. And we have this ability to be able to interpret those vibrations as we know to stay open to them. And as much as I just shared some cool things about me that you go, oh, that's never happened to me. I've never been able to see things happen before they happen. That's just a few things that have worked for me. I truly believe that we all have intuitive gifts, and the more in tune we are with those gifts and believe that we have access to those, that we can all grow and improve. I've grown by leaps and bounds in the last 10 years being active in this work than I ever was before. It's gone way beyond just synchronicities of dreams and people passing away at certain times and things like this. It's gone into, gosh, if I can access that, I could probably access really anything that's needed for myself or someone else. And I do that for their healing, and the healing so it can happen so that they can fulfill their soul purpose. And we go back and forth between both of those all day, every day for the rest of our lives. But we clear things so we can move forward, and we clear things again so we can move forward. You there, Tammy? Okay. Hi. Okay. We can't hear you, Tam.
I was muted. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was just grabbing your link and sharing it around. So I'm excited. If somebody wanted to connect with you, tell us a little bit about what kind of a process that would be like for them to set up a session. I mean, I know that there are people who are around the country. Maybe they wanted to connect together like a Zoom or something and do a session with you. Tell us a little bit about some of the offerings that you have. So even people who maybe aren't coming to the Boise conference, if they wanted to connect with you, that they could do so.
Absolutely. All right. So the first thing you want to do, there is my website, amywinsett.com. If you go to that, you're going to get a pop-up really quick that says, follow me on Facebook. That's going to be the best thing you're going to want to do. And Tammy, if you have a minute to type this one up as well, my Facebook handle is Awakening with Amy Winsett. And you follow me there, you're going to stay in the loop. I'm pretty active on that page. I do a lot of question and answer threads, things where I use my intuition to answer specifically for you, not just questions in general. I do guided meditations quite often. I'll do freebies and throw things at you. It's where you're going to find out about courses. And there is the information on there about how to have a personal session. Also on amywinsett.com, you'll see how to have a personal session. There will be one link that says book an in-person session. So if you're in the Ogden area, I live in West Haven, kind of near Roy. But if you are in the area and you want to come in and actually be here, I'm actually in my spa right now. Let's see if I can get out of the way enough. Sitting right behind me is my massage room. I have a few clients coming in this afternoon, actually. And you're welcome to come here if you're local to this area. And if not, you're going to want to click on the link on amywinset.com that says book a virtual session, which I do as well. So you'll get a reading over the phone live. And we can record that if you need to. Anyways, and so those are every bit as powerful and as impactful. Just depends on what you're able to do, if you're able to come in or not, what your schedule's like. It just makes it that convenient. And I think I forgot to mention that in Boise, I am actually speaking on connecting with your angels. I'm going to be going through the top most frequently asked questions I get about connecting with them, maybe why you're not feeling them, things like that. Okay. Tammy?
Yeah. So, okay. So when you're at the conference, you're going to be doing volunteers, and tell me what that's going to look like when you're at the conference.
Sure. Okay. Well, everything I do at a conference is very impromptu. It's going to be just like what I'm feeling in the moment. I start with very little script. I've learned to not show up with very many slides, if any. I probably won't have any slides with me. It will be more of an experience. And every time I create slides, something glitches up, or I can't pull them up, or it's just been a weird thing that my spirit guides have just kind of been like, knock it off with the slides, Amy. People want an experience, and they want it to come from the intuition that is in that moment. And so I just have a few questions written down of what are the most common things that people say or about being able to connect with their angels. I'll also be asking the audience if I missed anything or if they have any questions as well. That always brings up some more unique ones. And typically at a conference, I will have time to bring up a few and actually read the energy and say, I'm curious to bring somebody up, I think this time, who just feels like they're just totally disconnected. They're not feeling their angels. And I want to, with my hands in their space, kind of do a scan and just see what information, what vibrations, what beliefs they're having that are actually blocking them from that. And I'm able to sense and feel that. I believe we all are able to sense and feel that. But I will sense and feel that for somebody, and we'll talk through that feeling until that energy that is not serving them, that is blocking them, is validated enough and seen enough that it can start to pass. It can just leave. And that leaves a higher vibration behind where the higher vibrations of our guides can connect. And so I will most likely be doing that. I'll have some freebies and giveaways. One thing I'll do is I have my book, and I will be selling my book there, but I'll also have one that I will give away for followers of Awakening with Amy Winsett. And I will probably have some gifts as well for those who come to the event who are already following, because I get that a lot. They're like, what if we were already following you? And like way back when, and because this will be for my new followers, right? And then I'll have a special gift for those who are already following. So please don't wait to follow. Go ahead and start following now so you can get all that good stuff going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also went ahead and added your link to your book on Amazon as well. So
thank you.
In the meantime, they can. So yeah, that's great. And I've had a lot of good feedback from people who've read your book as well. And when I was walking through your class last time, I saw some friends that were there in your class as well. They had big smiles on their face. They were so excited to be there. So very, very fun stuff. And you keep going to these conferences. Tell me why you keep coming back. I mean, I'm very happy that you're there. I want to know if maybe somebody else is wondering, so I'd love to hear from you about that as well.
Well, Tammy, your audiences, the people who are there, the vibration that's there is just almost intoxicating. It's addicting. It's just the best. I tell people who are going to attend, because most people listening to this are attending, not necessarily choosing to be speakers there. What I tell the attendees is go with an intention of something you want an answer from that day. Something that's been on your mind, and just go, I'm going to find or feel some answers today. And because the vibration, the belief that there are answers to our problems that come from sources that may not always be seen. It's not always a tool or something physical, especially we're talking about energy healing. So it's energy, and a lot of times it's not visible. And come with an intention, because you're going to be feeling that vibration. Your vibration's so high You're going to be in that higher space where we receive that information. I also tell people, when you get your schedule, look at the schedule and you go, maybe you don't know any of the people and you're not sure which class to go into. And this is especially helpful for the indecisive. And I teach people to read energy like this all the time, but look at the schedule and you'll probably see about 3 different people or classes to choose from at a time. And you're just going to look, you're going to actually connect, know that you have guides right there. They know what your greatest questions are in life. And they know what you need to hear the most or who you need to hear it from the most. And then you just look at that, it just go line by line and say the one I need will jump out at me the most and my eyes will stay stuck on it. Okay. And so you just kind of glance and you don't say, oh, I'll bet it's this one. Don't say anything beforehand. Just totally clear your mind. And you just take a look at it and just go, okay, that one in the middle, I don't know why. I would have probably never chosen that one on my own, but I think that's the class I need to go to. And then that's the class you go to. But yes, personally, I just keep coming back because it's so fun to teach a room that's just like 100% believers. Everybody who comes to these conferences just loves everything that everybody does there, just about. There's just so much enthusiasm, and it's not like other conferences where there's a lot of different modalities and things. And like let's just say if you went to an event that was just for like home goods or something, or stuff for your house, like someone's selling solar panels and somebody's over here with shingles and somebody's over here with hot tub. Yes, everybody has a house, we would think, but not everybody wants all those things. And so it's really kind of divided. People will just come for one certain thing, but at an energy healing conference, it's like everybody's just there to just eat everything up. People make friends there that just have lasted lifetimes. I have so many new friends and clients that I have connected in large part from these conferences. And I know that my part of fulfilling my purpose is to be able to share with them. And so going to the conferences is one of those vehicles or avenues where I get to do that.
I'm just enjoying everything that you're saying over there. Sorry.
No problem.
Like, I'm right here. Is there anything else that you want to add for today? If somebody is looking at the schedule and they are feeling aligned to come with your class. And then we definitely have a few more tickets that are remaining, 350 people that are pre-registered for this event. And we haven't been back to Boise since 2015. So I'm very excited to be coming there. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for the Facebook event for Boise down here in the comments. So anybody would like to go and find out more, the schedule is going to be posted there as well. Other things that you can find there at the Facebook event is other highlights as well. And I know in the past at your vendor space, you've done, like mini sessions for people. Do you want to tell them about that? Because I know that you're pretty much packed from the start of the conference to the very end of the conference. And I know that if they want to get a spot with you, they're going to have to probably get signed up earlier in the day.
Yes.
Or they won't get a spot. So tell us a little about what happens there.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Tammy. Okay, yeah, first thing, I teach at 4:00, so that's in the afternoon. However, you are going to want to show up early. If you want to go to my class, Connecting with Angels, do not say, oh, I'll go maybe if there's room. Like if you really want to be there, get in there. Almost every single time I teach, every single chair is full. And a couple of conferences ago, there were people sitting on the floors and all around, and that's typical. But there were even people coming out the doorway where they were kind of peering in on both sides of the doorway, like a tunnel of people. And I just have a lot of fun in there. You'll laugh and you're going to learn a lot. And it's, like I said, it's an experience, and it's a healing experience, but it's also an educational experience about how we connect with our past loved ones, our spirit guides, our angels, things like that. So that first thing. But at my booth, I always offer, I call them mini angel readings. Okay. And so I do have a sign up sheet. I'll start readings at 9 and I'll go till they kick me out of the building, basically. And so you'll see people signing up at 9, and I'll just start reading until just a few minutes before I teach. And then I will be several after, because it ends at 5. So about 5:20 to 7 o'clock, I will also be doing readings every 20 minutes. And what tends to happen always, I will be booked before I teach my class for the rest of the day, just so you know. They're like, oh, I'll go to her class and then see if maybe I want a reading after. By that point, I will most likely be completely booked for the whole day. So do it sooner rather than later. Take a look at the schedule and say, I think I've got a break here. or I can spare 20 minutes there and just get on the schedule. I will be doing readings. They're $40 for the reading. I will have my book there, and my books, autographed books, will be $20 each. And I think I might be bringing some crystal necklaces that my daughter made too. And so just kind of they're like specific to each chakra kind of a necklace. So those are like $12, and I'll have those there. But yeah, I can't emphasize that enough, that if you want a reading in Boise, get on the list. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I will see you this weekend.
Hey, sounds amazing. Thanks, Tammy.
All right. See you, friend. Okay, you guys, I have just a few more little bits about the conference this weekend. The Riverside Hotel is this beautiful location. I personally have never been there, but everybody from the area, when they find out where we're doing it, they're like, oh, that was a good choice. And the pictures just look marvelous. We are going to have 3 rooms right there, and then we'll have 2 rooms for vendors. One that is right there by us, and then the other one is just on the other side of the front desk, just through the lobby right there. There'll be signage, so it'll be easy to find. And amongst some of the vendors that are going to be there, you'll be able to participate and sign up for a free light therapy session. Tori Miller is going to be there on Thursday here on our channel, talking about luminoceutical light therapy, so that you can go ahead and try that out. That's a complimentary light therapy session with them. We will also have many other vendors like Dr. John Harmon. He is somebody who is a local to the Boise area. He's been literally going around to all of our conferences for the last couple of years, but he is actually from the Boise area. And he's also out with a new book, and he's the owner of Clear Mind, Idaho, which has some really incredible technology as well. So you'll want to check that out. And then we also have Moon Tucker is going to be finishing off the day with Yen Stress Relief. I'll be leading us through some breathwork sessions. I'm very excited about that. I've been getting my breathwork certification for the last few months and would like to introduce people to that. So if you've never, ever had exposure to breathwork and you're curious about what goes on in there, come and check that out for sure. Some of the other vendors that are going to be there is we have some local wellness centers that I'm very excited about. One of them is the Infinity Wave Center. They're going to be hosting our VIP night on Friday night and allowing us to try out the beautiful scalar waves there. They also have saunas for relaxation and a salt room in addition to that. And we're very, very pleased and grateful for their generosity in letting us come and do it there. In addition to that, we also have the Living Waters, which is a facility there that takes care of people from all over the nation with colon hydrotherapy and as well as other forms of detox. So lots of great complementary modalities that you'll be able to participate and find there. Rimsha Warda Seda, I'm like not 100% certain on how to say her last name. I'm going to have to for sure find out. Rimsha Warda is going to be doing a soul retrieval shamanic journey, and that's all taking place at 12 noon. So probably one of my best tips would be to say, definitely bring your lunch with you so that you don't have to miss out on very much. Or plan on bringing some snacks with you to kind of go throughout the day. It's going to be an incredible experience. Lots of hands-on activities as well. And we'll see you guys there this Saturday. Thanks, everyone. Bye.